Whoa. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. I hope you have been able to check out my Rebel Moon Part 2, the Scargiver review. If not, it is up on the channel now, so make sure you check it out. Just a heads up, there are some things I addressed from Part 1 that could be spoiler territory. I do give a heads up, though, I think, in the video, when I do get into some spoilers. Just from Part 1, though. I don't spoil anything from Part 2. So if you haven't seen Part 1, just be aware of that if you do watch my review, or maybe just watch Part 1 first and then go back and watch the review. But anyway, that's up on the channel now. And if you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this video, my other content. Shout out to any new subscribers as well. And for the continued support on my channel, I appreciate it. So at the end of my last video, I mentioned that there were some interesting bombshells that Zack dropped in a recent podcast with Josh Horowitz, the host of the Happy Side Confused podcast, who I've referenced many times on the channel because he always has great interviews. He always just seems to nonchalantly drop these huge bombs that people are like, hello, whoa. You can't just say that and move on as if it's not a huge deal. I mean, I recommend watching the entire interview. It is on the Happy Side Confused YouTube channel. I recommend watching it, but I want to mention two very interesting bombshells he dropped regarding casting for Watchmen and BVS. Just let's look.
I always admired about Watchmen was the casting of the film, and I don't know if, what the pressures were at the time, but you cast the best actors for the role.
I cast the best actors,
and some of them were bigger than others in terms of name value, but it wasn't like a giant all-star cast.
No.
That being said, the war is Keanu Reeves for Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, nice.
Tom Cruise for Ozymandias. Were those?
I wanted Tom Cruise for Ozymandias. Tom wanted to play Rorschach.
Tom wanted to play Rorschach.
He wanted to play Rorschach, which, I mean, obviously he could have done.
Amazing.
Yeah. But we had Jackie already, and Jackie is like unbelievable. I mean, but I certainly would have considered Tom in retrospect if I hadn't had Jackie.
So you meet with Tom and you're like, Ozymandias, he's like, yeah, I want to play that weird, crazy guy.
Which would have been unbelievable. I mean, in retrospect, yeah.
Was Keanu ever on your mind or no?
Keanu!
Are you Tom Cruise wanted to play Rorschach. That is... What? He wanted him for Ozymandias, which... Still, like, whoa. But the fact that he wanted to play Rorschach, but they already had Jackie Earle, I forget his last name all the time, guy who amazingly played Rorschach, right? But could you imagine? What? He just says it like it's no big deal. It is a big deal. Now, just, a couple minutes after they talk about that shocking thing, let's go ahead and hear what Zack has to say about Lex Luthor for BVS.
Or jumping into BVS for Luthor, there were all these rumors. There was talk that the studio wanted Tom Hanks, that Adam Driver was meeting with you.
I think I did talk to Adam on the phone, yeah.
And that's a different way to go than Jesse in some ways.
Yeah, Leonardo Dicaprio I talked to about it.
Are you kidding? Zach, can't just drop these bombshells on me. What was that conversation? Was Leo intrigued at all?
I think so. I think DiCaprio, he had a lot of great ideas actually just in the meeting. I think in the end he was like, I don't know. But he was really smart about the material and really smart about the character. He had a lot of, and then really in a lot of ways I think I think he was the one that mentioned to me this idea about Superman fighting the Justice League at some point, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
He's a comic guy, as I understand it, actually.
Yeah.
Wasn't his dad like an underground comic artist too?
Yeah.
And
so it was cool. So I was like, okay, that's good. I'm gonna
fascinating.
Put that over there.
Yeah, I'll take.
Whoa. What in the world? Leonardo DiCaprio for Lex Luthor. I mean, okay, first of all, Leonardo DiCaprio was probably the actor I could say was my first favorite actor growing up, and is still top 5, and I mean, he's top 3, top 2, top 3. It has never changed since I was a kid. He can play any character that he's incredible. He is extremely talented. He goes so deep with his characters, and he goes, whatever, he can do it. I will die on that hill. Could you imagine him as Lex Luthor? Play that twisted, psychopath. You know what I mean? And I just would love, oh my God, I would have loved to see him deliver some lines like that. One of my favorite scenes with Lex in BVS is when he's talking to the senator in his dad's, office. or his, the room that was his dad's, and he just like switches up on her. Oh, I mean, I love Jesse Eisenberg's performance as Lex Luthor. I think he did a fantastic job. But Leonardo can play, oh my God, that's just crazy. That would have been insane to see him play a psychopath like that. And I love that Zack mentioned that that Leonardo mentioned the idea of Superman fighting the League. That could have maybe that's one of the reasons why we got to see it in the Snyder Cut. Like, one of the best things about the movie. That's awesome. I'm sorry. I think it's so awesome because Leonardo DiCaprio has always been a favorite of mine. Always will be. And that's just really cool to hear, to know. Like, I love to hear things about people that were considered for certain roles that you're like, whoa. Even if you love the person's performance that ultimately ended up playing that character, but then you hear about another actor that would have been like, holy crap, that'd have been insane to see them play that role. You know what I mean? Like, you can appreciate both for sure. This is two of those instances with the Tom Cruise bombshell and Leonardo DiCaprio. Two actors who can just put on an amazing performance in a movie. I mean, time after time, they have done that with in their career. So I just found both of those things very interesting and very cool for Zack to share. So I definitely wanted to stop by and share those on the channel because, wow. I also remember that there was a time for the Joker movie that there was a rumor that Leonardo DiCaprio was being considered for that movie as well, which, like I said, he can play a psychopath character. But again, another instance where Joaquin Phoenix, I think, is definitely, I could say, one of my most, I respect him so much as an actor for his ability, and he has also played some amazing roles in his career where you're just like, wow, he's super talented. He is definitely up there with the most talented actors, and he's done an amazing job and that character as well. When you hear rumors of people, you're not always sure if it's true, if they were actually being considered for that role. But when you hear from a director, oh yeah, we talked to this person, oh yeah, we talked to that person, what? So I wanted to stop by and share that really quickly. I was going to make this video before my Rebel Moon review, but then the movie came out, so I wanted to get that out first and then go ahead and share this really quick. But I recommend watching the whole interview on the Happy Side Confused podcast. If you like to watch Zack's interviews, and I always like to listen to him talk about his work. And also GQ has a nice good length interview with him too on their channel, so you can check both of those out if you're interested. Makes a really cool comment, how Superman's battle with Darkseid would have been the battle of battles, and he kind of talks about his trilogy of movies, and that was a really cool section in that interview too if you're interested. So he gives some cool tidbits of information about pretty much all his movies over the years, so I recommend watching the GQ one too. In the meantime, check out my Rebel Moon Part 2 review if you've missed that. Let me know your thoughts about these bombshells in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new, and don't forget to check out the Hive Marketplace link in the description. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.